just loving the direction of what the Bloodline 2.0 is doing. And I think that we already have talked about this, and I'm saying it again simply because I was going back and forth with a couple people on Twitter during, like, after SmackDown, I think, because there's so many people who don't like Solo or they're not buying into it. And I get it. Solo isn't great 100% of the time, but I also think that, you know, as I've said, Roman Reigns was not 100% great all the time either.
Yeah,
But because he's an established figure in our minds, because he's been around for so long, you kind of forgive him. And he was the champion for almost 4 years. So, like, if he has a bad moment, you're like, okay, whatever. Solo isn't getting that same leniency because obviously he's had not even half the career that Roman has had as far as length. But I don't think that what they're doing is that bad. I feel like they're accomplishing what they want to accomplish, and it's entertaining. Like, you're interested in seeing, or at least I am, and what they're going to do next. And then what we saw in the main event, like I said, we'll get to that. Why aren't you invested in this? You know,
I don't get it. I understand the Solo sucks and all that because it's wrestling, but to actually say that it sucks, you know, and critique it that way, saying it sucks, that's kind of ignorant. It's just stupid because you're not looking at the full scope of it. He's supposed to be just kind of chaotic, erratic, like the decisions he's making, like how he's going about it, because like that's the role, you know what I mean? Like,
see, like, I agree with Richard here, but in a different way. Yeah, I think that's the whole point, is that he's supposed to be that, because we reiterated this when we talked about it before, that everybody just keeps comparing him to what the original Bloodline was, specifically comparing him to the Tribal Chief Roman Reigns. And because he is not living up to what Roman was at that point throughout his career, then we're saying Solo is bad. Well, I feel like in a way he's supposed to be coming off like, okay, this is my role, this is my job. He's not supposed to come off like he earned it, or that he is being like, he's not successful at it. It's almost like he is wearing shoes that are too big for him, and he's trying to do all of these things to be like Roman, but he's not pulling it off. So that's why it's like he keeps bringing in these guys, and he brings in guys that are violent, because it's like, okay, well, that instills the fear in you, rather than, okay, I'm Roman Reigns, I've been champion for 3.5 years, that's why you fear me. Or these are the Usos, they are the longest reigning tag team champions ever, like, that's why you fear them. Solo doesn't have that. So instead, it's like, let me surround myself with the baddest mother effers around, you know, that happen to be in my family, and that is going to make me look like I am the tribal chief, I am the guy, I am the boss, and that is why us as a collective is why you fear me.
Solo was made to do one thing for the Bloodline, and it was violence at all times.
That was his role.
That was his role.
Literally.
So now that's literally what his role was. Like, so
the enforcer. That was the whole thing.
So when he goes into that role, his only mentality is violence, because that's what Roman instilled with him. So he's bringing in these just absolute, just badasses. Just, I throw a word out there and it's probably fits. Like, these dudes are just insane with God. And now, like, you gotta go into that. You gotta have more of an open mind with that, because that's where to go.
Yeah, I think that people are just being a little bit unfair, you know, but I know that a lot of wrestling fans just react to what they see, right? Like, that they don't go any deeper, or they don't try and like actually think about why this is happening or what this means and stuff like that. And maybe we overanalyze, but that's just how my brain works naturally. Especially like, as we were kind of talking about this before we went live, where you can't watch anything during the Triple H era like single focused. It's not just what you're seeing on TV, because there's things going on in the background. There's other things that are being said to you on commentary. There's things being happening in a social media video that they posted or something. Like, there's so much going on all the time. You can't just be, you know, whatever you're shown is what it is, if that makes any sense.
No, you can't. You have to You have to pay attention to every little detail.
Yes, exactly. But that's like, that's the thing is everything that they're doing, and we've said this already, I think last week or the week before, this is a bloodline that The Rock would put together. Because Roman was about kind of accolades, proving his worth and why he was better than you, and also being sneaky. He was a little bit, he didn't really do things like obviously, you know what I mean, not all the time, whereas I feel The Rock came back, and the second that they did the pivot, he was all about just like beating your ass. Like, look at what he did to Cody. That is literally what the Bloodline 2.0 is doing. So what's the problem? That's the thing that I don't, just give Solo a chance. Listen to me, guys. I like to bring this up, and I'm going to bring it up always.
I really do
a
it.
year ago.
Do it.
I love how I did that, because I'm actually like so proud of myself, because that was such a random thought that I had, and the fact that it actually happened. I'm like,